Good. So today I will be talking about how legacy code can be fun and you can enjoy it. And point of my talk is the more legacy code you have, the bigger fun it is. Is anybody here working with legacy code? Cool, cool. Okay, this is the right audience. And with Symfony, and with Laravel, with Cake PHP, with E, with Falcon, cool. Nete, 2 guys, awesome, okay. So, as you can see, like there are a lot of frameworks, a lot of stuff to learn, so we all have to learn all the time. You have to learn new frameworks, new techniques, new PHP versions. And it's never-ending story. You go to conferences, you read some articles. We educate all the time. And the problem is that there's like a lot of new features every year, which is kind of annoying because you have to learn them, you have to use them to be more effective, to stay with the competition. Like in PHP, every year there is a new version. You probably already know it. Is anybody using 7.3? And 7.2? Good, good, very good. Well, there are a lot of projects that still use PHP 5.3 or 4, and they have big problems to upgrade because they depend on lots of stuff. But there's not just PHP that you need to upgrade. If you use Symfony, it's even faster because new version is not every 12 months, but every 6 months. So every 6 months you have to go to the blog, read what's new, think about how you can use it in your code, how it will help you, what are the BC breaks that are documented, then what are the BC breaks that are not documented, and so on. And you have to explain your boss, oh, we have to upgrade, and it doesn't work anymore, and if you show him these red signs, you have to explain him that there are some security issues, and he's like, whatever, and it's too expensive. There are some ways how to deal with this. One of them is hire some consultant that has experience with upgrading, that focuses on upgrading of Symfony or other frameworks, who's done like, I don't know, 10 or 15 upgrades in a month, so he knows where to look, what to do, and he can help you in a few days to upgrade your application. Which is better than do it yourself because you have to learn a lot all the time about these news. But the problem is there's not just PHP and Symfony. There are like a lot of frameworks, packages, e-commerce platforms, CMS platforms, and so on. And you have to learn about all of them, and they have different release life cycle, and they create bugs, and it's very hard to keep up with all of them. So you probably already know this quote. Like when you write your code in a year, you're probably gonna hate yourself. And if not, you probably don't learn fast enough. So the problem is that when you type this code, there is already a new version that can be better, faster in a year. And I think some of you work in companies where like 5, 6, 7, 10 years of code bases, and there's like a lot of stuff you would like to refactor, but it's very expensive. And this doesn't mean not only about code, but also about knowledge. So let's say like 2 days ago, there was Symfony 4.3 released, which is now new, fresh, cool technology. But in 2 years, there might be like Symfony 5.3, and this one will be legacy, and we're gonna hate it, and gonna, oh, how could I use such an old version of Symfony? But the problem is it's really, really expensive, like in time and money and knowledge, to refactor the big code bases. And the problem is like when you have a project that is successful, it grows in size, it grows in features, so it's much more hard to work with it. And we think like this is normal states of stuff. Like it's big, so it takes time, and we have to like take a break. And you go to your boss and you tell him, well, we have PHP that doesn't support security fixes, and it's possible like there are some bugs, and somebody can like steal our database, and and he's like, So what we're going to do? Well, we have to stop the whole process for 12 months and just like rewrite it completely. And I've heard about this new framework, and it's very cool. And he asked, like, so for 12 years we cannot do anything? Yeah. And he's like, I don't think so. And then you stay with this old legacy project, and you think it's okay because you have nothing else to do. And in the end, you have just like have a burnout, or you have to quit, or you have to be paid a lot of money so you can deal with all this stress. But I don't think this is necessary nowadays. And to verify my idea, I tried to migrate with my friend application from one framework to another. If you don't know Neta, you can imagine any other framework that you don't like but use. And in size, without tests, without fixtures, migrations, templates, and so on, it had 54K lines. And this one, is the final pull request that we merged to migrate completely from one framework to another. Do you have some idea how much time did it take to us? Like hours, days, weeks, months? Just scream. Year? Half month? 3 years? 1 hour? Oh, maybe next year, yeah. Okay, good. I'll tell you in a little bit. Good tips, very good. I will just show you like two cases. There are like 50 cases maybe, but I just show you 2 cases that we had to deal on a large scale. Imagine like if there is 151 routes, which is kind of like 150 controllers. Usually there is like a lot of repeated stuff, like you have some response that you need to convert to factory, or you have some return type that you need to convert, you have some form, you have some validation, you have some repository, and these things are different in these frameworks. So we had to convert many cases like this in presenters, in repositories, and so on. And the other example is with routing, because in the Neta framework, the routing is done in one file when you have all the routes in one place. And in Symfony, we wanted to move to annotation above the specific route because we used invoke controllers, callable controls. So we had to prepare many rules like this. The difference between normal refactoring, as you know it, is that you don't focus on every single file, but you look for patterns. Yeah, so here is the pattern that route is in one file, and you need to move it to another. Like that is some location like invoke under presenter. So you don't refactor file, but you think about patterns. And if you have a rule for this pattern, you don't care if it's 10 files, 1,000 files, million files, because you just run it once and it's done. So the point of this refactoring is that you don't have to learn anything. You just like do it once, and then you extract this knowledge to one set. So if any one of you would use this specific framework, you could already migrate it with just running vector on the set. So in the end, it took us, because it was our first migration, so it was a little bit longer. So it took us 80 hours, like in team of 2 people. And the longest problem was that in this project there were some DDD event domains, and there were like 2 event dispatchers, and we like 15 of these hours took to debug this event dispatcher, which is not related to the project. But now the same project would take us, I think, 10 or 15 hours, because the set is already prepared. So when you migrate a huge project, it's not that big of a problem. So you just like prepare the set, prepare the pattern, and turn it into AST rules. I will show you later, and run it on your code base. So if somebody thought like it can take years or months, I'm pretty sure it can take just 1 month on any PHP framework to any other PHP framework. And to get more projects like this, we have a challenge. Like, if you think it will take longer, just dare us, and we'll prove you that it will not take longer. So, now a little bit technical stuff. Does anybody here know AST, Abstract Syntax Tree? Okay, and PHP parser? And PHP stan? Cool. So if you know PHP stan, you probably already know PHP parser, because that's the project that's built on it. Another project like this is Psalm or Fun. And Refactoring uses actually PHP parser, some analysis from PHP stan, and it puts together in a very, very simple rules. So, can everybody see it? We'll see. So now I'll try to do a little bit of demo. This. Awesome. Can everybody see it, or should I increase? Yeah, it looks good. Just scream if it's too small. It's too big. That's what she said. Okay. I'm happy you didn't say the other thing. Yeah. So we have some. I mean, you can focus on many things. Like I have some code quality, which is general code quality, how to upgrade your code. PHP itself, code upgrade. There are some tweak, and of course tests. So, just to show you, Refactor is just like any binary file. You can come here. Yeah, you can just download it with Composer, add it to your project as coding standard or static analysis tool, and run it. And here I have some prepared examples. So now it's a quiz time. Do you have idea how would you simplify this code to make it 1 or 2 lines long and still working, of course? Ternary? Double question mark. Cool. And this one? You can shout. Which sign? Equals. Yeah, like this. You mean? Yes. And something else that could be done better? Double N? Sorry, I can't. Ampersand. I'm not sure I understand. Well, is there some logical and? Where? Oh, I see. Something like this? Or I don't know. Actually, I don't know what to do with this code. I just need some help with code reviews. Okay, and this? You can't see it? Oh, it's different than, oh, damn. I see. So now I have to look there. Okay. Strip left side. Good, good. Let's see. So here is a little bit, I've prepared statement. So if you want Refactor, you just process it on something. Here I put the exact file. And you pass some set, which is set of rules. I'll show you later. And this is like dry run. So if you're going to run it on this code, Oh, it's really sad. Yeah, so just a second. Yeah, put it up. Yeah, so somebody was saying coalesce. So exactly that's what you can do with all this. And imagine like there's like 3, 4, 5 cases like this that you need to edit, which is kind of pain. And the bottom one, yeah, identical and inline variable, basically. So that was pretty easy. You seem like a smart audience, so I'll give you more. Yeah, this one. It's possible there is nothing there. I'm just, I have some code. Do you think you can make it short ternary? Okay. Is null? Double question, like this? No? Like this? I'm not very good at coding, yeah. And this one? One more time? Cast to Boolean. Empty array, what? Like this? Without count? Like this? No, sorry. Visitors not equal empty array. Oh, cool. Like this? Nice. Nice. We'll see. I had different. I have to put it back so it doesn't broke anything. Okay, and this one? Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. And sorry, you don't see the last line, which is important. Yes. If in array, then what? In array. Okay, I have to make it harder for you. So with this one. Array search. Something else than array search? Undefined variable, okay. Yeah, there's argument you cannot see. No, a new function is, it's too bad. It's weird dimensions. I'll try it, make it shorter. Yeah, almost there. Yeah, so it's all there. The old code is all there. Like this. Array key or? So like this. I don't know. If. So this. Shit. Okay. I don't know. Sorry. I have to finish this till Monday, so yeah. I'm studying PHP basics. Okay. So, like there are, as you can see, like there are a lot of ideas, and you have to think hard, and you have to probably test the code if your idea is right. And imagine you have a pull request when there is junior, and he like for eaches everything because that's cool, and you have to check everything. Oh, this may be like one function instead of 4, and it takes you so much time. You just say okay, just merge it. So that's when Rector might help you a little bit, because there are some prepared sets, but of course, if you find a better way, you can do it yourself. Oh, you cannot see it. I'll just run it and show you the command. Yeah, so you can just run the command on some code, and it'll be blue, and then it makes, you can do count on visitors or compare to empty array. And this one was in array. I think somebody was correct. And this one, I don't remember. Yeah, it's isset. Huh. Who knew? Okay. But code quality is fun, but more fun are BC breaks that just break your application. If you've been upgrading to PHP 7.1, you probably come to a place like this. Do you have some idea how, this is actually BC break in PHP 7.1 or 7.0. Do you have idea how to make it better, this return count? Because it can fail in some cases. Excuse me? What? Oh, is nullable. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. All of these cases. And what if it's not countable, but not null? I don't know if it's possible, I'm just curious. And what if it would look like this? Yeah. Yeah, because you have probably some old code and you just don't, yeah, this is say RM, or maybe not. Yeah. Because it's doc block, so it can be anything. So let's keep it this way, it's more hard and it might not work. And this, it like PHP Storm is cheating, it makes it easier for you, so try to, yeah, this is better. This should work. Property equal 1, like this. Are you sure? I don't know. Well, what's the result of this? 1 or array of 1? Somebody disagrees? We can maybe try it. Just make it bigger. Okay, so this is the same example or similar. Now it's count. Damn. So we can try it anyway because I just copy paste it. If you just copy paste the code. Yeah. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. Not really. Okay, so we have this property. It's string, but maybe not. And we just created here the object. And we'll pray, I'll show you. Now we can just var dump it, this property. So just run it, maybe it on old versions. Okay, so in PHP 7.1 it's error. And in older PHP, it's 1. Damn, it's really problematic. Maybe like this. Yeah, so in old PHP, it would be array of 1. In new PHP, it would be fatal error, which is very nice. So, how would you fix it then? I want my code to work all the time. Okay, remove. That's a nice solution. Okay, so let's try if Rector can help us here. Yeah, so this one should be checked with isArray, but it doesn't have to be an array. Can you see it? Yes, it can be also. I'll just run it on the code and show in the code. Yeah. Yes. So this is the most safest check you can get. It can be array, which is good, or it can be countable. And if it can, it's items, and if it's not, it's null. It's 0, almost null. And here just like define default value. But can this be even better? It's countable. Yes. But what if you have old version, that's also nice. Where is this? This is like configuration file, and then you can configure which PHP version do you use. So if we try 7.3, and we'll go back to this code, just revert it, and run Rector again. Yeah, it's countable. Good. So actually, you can use your local PHP, but if you want to air force something, some bigger version, you can do it. Okay, so that was upgrade of PHP. This one is my favorite. Is anybody here using WordPress? Just make it nicer. Sorry. So imagine you have code like this, and it stops working because create function is deprecated since 7.2, I think. Do you know how to write this so it works? I don't know either, but there are like a lot of GitHub issues with this. But it's actually very, very simple, again, with Rector. Without n. Yeah, it just like creates anonymous function, which is very easy for PHP parser, but very hard for human parser. So, two more examples from PHP. Do you use PHP 7.3 with regular expression? Then you probably know this bug. Sometimes when there is a no. Yes. So this worked in PHP 7.2, I think, but it just stopped working in 7.3. Nobody knows why. Yeah, except the author of the pull request. But how to fix this? Well, sometimes you can have regular expressions in constants. Good. Sometimes you have them in the code. And if you find this bug, you just go crazy because it's very hard to find how to fix it. And again, if we run PHP 7.3 set, the fix is like just to add slash before this sign, because PHP thinks that you mean from this to this in the same like A to Z, and stops working. So this is the fix. So it will fix not only like regular expressions right in the pragmatch function, but also in constant. And one last thing. Does anybody tried PHP 7.4? One person, cool. So from 7.4 there will be something like type properties, which is cool or something. And if you had blocks, it would be easier for you to migrate, but sometimes you can have dog blocks that are not really true. So let's try how Rector can help with this. Oh, it doesn't work. And it's actually a good thing because I don't have PHP 7.4 and it would break the code. So if I want to enforce higher version than my code is, I have to say it. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. Here. You have to say it explicitly. So let's try it one more time. And go back to our file. Yeah, so you can see it's moved this here, this here, this here. Here it's not bool, which is great, and a treble. So it's not valid code in my PHP, but since PHP 7.4 it will be. So that's all ready. And now one more thing about migration and tests. So if you're using Twig, there's been some deprecations about namespaced or underscored to namespaced. You can see it here. And this is really annoying because you can have it everywhere, like use, extends, Twig filter, and sometimes in annotations, which are not here, or here, yeah. PHP Storm should tell me it's broken, but who cares? So to make it work, you would have to, again, do it manually everywhere. But it's also a very nice example for Rector. There's prepare set, just Twig underscore to namespace that you can use on the code, which we will try to do now. Yeah. And if you get back, you can see like namespaces are replaced, extends is replaced. Return doc blocks is replaced and everything works, which is nice because they are not only underscored to something, but there are also like some extra words that you have to be careful about. And these sets will solve this for you. And one last example is from tests, because if somebody writing tests here, good. With PHP unit? Good, more people with PHP unit even. Awesome. And there are like some annoying deprecations about these assertions and like how it's written, and there was some like set expected naming or expect, or just too much changes, and I don't like to remember all this. So you can use again prepared rule with PHP 7.0. There's also 8.0, 6.0, and all these BC breaks or changes will be solved for you, hopefully. Yes, so when you look back and we look for the exceptions, you can see like the annotation was moved here and even the regular expressions. I actually wanted to try test first. I don't know if you can see it, you can't see it. I have to create smaller PHP Storm. Yeah, maybe that will be better. Oh, that's my super small PHP Storm. Decrease. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. So I've just run PHP unit tests, and it worked. And when I run Rector, that will change all these annotations, and run tests again. It still works. Yeah, so we are sure it works. So you must think like it's a lot of black magic, but it's actually not. So I often get questions like, how does it look when you create such a rule? Yeah, show this one. So like every of these changes is basically this class that extends some abstract vector. There are like two important methods, which node type you listen to. So it can be like function, method, class, whatever. And if the parser will find method call, it will get back to a method that's called refactor. And in that method, you can check anything, if it's name or type or whatever. And if it's not, then skip it. And here we look for a method that's called rename me. And if it's there, then just rename it. And that's all the magic. So you just like look for a node, identify if it's okay, then change it as you wish. And just to show you _2, how does such a set look like? So this is one that changed the namespaces. Basically, there's like rename class when you can show the old class, new class, and there's also, of course, there's also some rule that helps with this underscore and basically converts anything that's twig underscore to slashes. So that's for the demo. I'll try to get back. No? Okay. Wrong dimensions. Oh, new experience. And this is really fun to use locally. But if you are lazy, like, oh, it's not. Hey guys, can I get some? Maybe I try to mirror, join this place. I have it here, but I don't have it here. It's here, yeah. Last 3 slides, hopefully. Yes, okay. So if you're lazy and you don't want to install it yourself and resolve all the conflicts, we are also working on something that will be like CI service that you can log in with your GitHub project. You can pick all these levels. And the idea is so you don't have to do anything manually, like really. So if you create some new feature and there will be, for example, upgrade set for Symfony 4.3, it will automatically tell you and send you pull request with suggestion that this can be upgraded. And it's up to you if you merge it or not. And we also create like this rectified suffix that will make everything clean in your code. And I'm really excited about it. So that's all for me. Thank you for your time. And if you have some questions. Can you say the second sentence? What if legacy doesn't use any framework and 10 juniors? Well, that's great because I mean frameworks are very similar and it's kind of like too easy because it's MVC. But with private frameworks, it gets more creative because each company has own framework. But usually there are some patterns that you can detect, like there is something like controller or container, or there are 100 classes that do something. So you can use Rector for that. You just like detect these classes and you can migrate them to Symfony, for example. But you have to create these rules by yourself. Well, that's still good because it's PHP, and if it's at least like PHP 7.1 is better, but if it's at least PHP 5.3, that's something you can parse with PHP parser and then Rector, and you can run Rector in Docker and also migrate this. I think you do. Actually, when I consult companies, they always say question like this, like we have 10 years of legacy code. There are like 20 developers, mostly students because they were very cheap, and they have lots of problems to migrate it. But I think like in every code there is some pattern. For example, in every application has some URL address that is somehow transformed to calling PHP method. So if there is something like this, you have router and you have controllers. You just have to find these patterns. That's the most painful thing, yeah. Pattern, yeah. Yeah. PHP, yeah. Yeah, it depends what you mean by incorrect, but for PHP docs, you can also use parser. That was created by my friend who contributes to PHP Stan. So you can change types, you can import them, you can replace them. With globals. Without functions, yeah. It would be very hard. But I think still, like, if you can parse it, you can change it. That's the main idea. If it would be like HTML, like Rector doesn't handle HTML very well, so that would be a problem. But if it's PHP, you can still use it. That's a very good question. Yeah, I get it all the time. Actually, when I show you this abstract vector, and there are like two methods, this get no types and refactor. A half year ago, I had a great idea that there will be a method called isCandidate, which will just check if something should happen. But in the end, the isCandidate and refactor had a lot of similar code, and it was just mess. And I had already like 100 Rector classes, and I didn't want to do it manually because I'm too lazy. So I created Rector that merged these two methods, changed the bool types to null, and processed code inside, and just put them together. And in the end, it took me like 2 hours to write this rule. Then I ran Rector on Rector, and that was it. And that's why I also enjoy this development, because when I fuck up something today, I know I can fix it in a year in a matter of minutes. How? What? Yeah, you probably asked before I showed you, but in the end, it's the best to just put it into CI and maybe Rector CI that will just suggest you this pull requests. Yeah. Why not? Like if somebody's using WordPress and needs some help, it's just contact me. Okay, thank you.